What's up, you freaking geniuses? So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to write a rule for g of x given f of x. All right, and I'm specifically going to cover logarithmic functions. So let's start with this first problem right here. So it says f of x is equal to log base 1/3 of x. And then these are the transformations. So it says a translation 2 units up, followed by a vertical stretch by a factor of 2. All right, so where do we start? Well, there's basically two big steps I kind of like to follow when trying to solve these. The first step is just writing h of x is equal to f of x. All right, so let's just start there. So we're going to say that h of x is equal to f of x. Now, here we're going to say that h of x is equal to the first transformation and apply it to f of x. So what is the first transformation? It says a translation 2 units up. So in order to translate a function up or down, you basically just add or subtract that number at the very end, right? So here it says 2 units up, so that's plus 2. So h of x is going to be equal to f of x plus 2. Okay, now what is f of x? Well, f of x is right here, right? So then our final h of x function is going to be that h of x is equal to log base 1/3 of x plus 2. Okay, so that's our first transformation. Now for the second transformation, we're going to go to step 2. So g of x is equal to h of x, right? So we're going to say that g of x, right, because that's what we're looking for, g of x is equal to h of x. And now we're going to apply the second transformation to h of x, which the second transformation is right here, right? It says followed by a vertical stretch by a factor of 2. So whenever you vertically stretch or shrink something, whatever number it gives you, you just put that number and multiply it out here in front. So we have a 2, right? So then a vertical stretch would just be, we'll say that g of x is equal to 2 times h of x. Okay, so here we're going to multiply 2 by the whole function, by the whole h of x function, which is right here, right? So then we're going to say that g of x is equal to 2 times h of x, which is this whole guy, log base 1/3 of x plus 2. And then here we can just distribute, right? So we're going to get that g of x is equal to 2 times log base 1/3 of x, and then 2 times 2 is equal to positive 4, so plus 4. Okay, so then this would be our final function right here. All right, here's the second problem. So we have f of x is equal to log base 1/2 of x. And the first transformation is translate 3 units left and 2 units up. Okay, so let's just start there. So again, the first step is just writing h of x is equal to f of x, right? And now we're going to apply the first transformation or transformations to f of x. So we're going to say that h of x is equal to a translation 3 units left. So to the left, that would be the same thing as minus 3, right? So whenever you translate something left or right, you always put the opposite number here. So instead of minus 3, we're going to put plus 3, and we're going to put that with the x inside of the parentheses. So we're going to say f of x plus 3. Okay, so that's the first one. And then it says and 2 units up. Again, just going up or down. We'll just put that at the very end, so that will be plus 2 at the very end. Okay, so now that we have our transformations, now we can bring in what f of x actually is and plug it in, right? So we're going to get that h of x is equal to, and here, wherever we have an x, we're going to replace it with an x plus 3 in our function. So we're going to say log base 1/2, and instead of x, we're going to say of x plus 3. And then we still have this plus 2 at the end. Okay, cool. So that was the first step. Now let's go on to the second transformation. So for that, we're going to again say that g of x is equal to h of x. And we're going to apply the second, or the last, transformation to h of x, right? So we're going to say that g of x is equal to, it says followed by a reflection in the y-axis. So to reflect something in the y-axis, you have to put a negative, you have to make the x negative in here. So we're going to say negative x like that. So basically wherever we have an x in our function up here in h of x, we're going to replace it with a negative x. Okay, so if we bring this down, we're going to get that g of x is equal to log base 1/2 of negative x plus 3 plus 2. All right, so those are all the transformations. So this is our final answer right here. All right, last one. So let's do a natural log. So we have f of x is equal to the natural log of x. So again, our first step is just saying that h of x is equal to f of x. Now we're going to apply our first transformation to f of x, right? So what is that? So it says a translation 3 units right and 1 unit up, okay? So here we're going to say that h of x is equal to 3 units to the right. That would be the same thing as plus 3, so we're going to do the opposite, right? So we're going to say f of x minus 3, okay? And then 1 unit up would just be plus 1 at the end, right? So now that we have our transformations in here, let's write in f of x. So we're going to have that h of x is equal to, and now again, wherever we have an x, we're going to replace it with an x minus 3, right? So we're going to have the natural log of x minus 3 plus 1. All right, so that's h of x. Now let's move on to the last transformation. So we're going to use g of x now, right? So g of x is equal to h of x. And then we're going to apply the second transformation to h of x, right? So we're going to say that g of x is equal to, let's see, it says followed by a horizontal stretch by a factor of 8. So whenever it says a horizontal stretch or shrink, you're going to multiply this number inside this set of parentheses over here, okay? And the other thing is, when it's a horizontal stretch or shrink, you actually take the reciprocal. So we're not going to plug in 8. We're going to take the reciprocal of 8, which is 1/8, right? So we're going to plug in a 1/8 right there. So we're going to say that g of x is equal to h of 1/8 times x, all right? So now that we have that written in, now we can replace all our x's with 1/8 x's, okay? So then for our final function, we're going to get that g of x is equal to, and we're replacing this in h of x right here, right? So we're going to get the natural log of 1/8 x minus 3 plus 1. Okay, so those are all the transformations. So then this would be our final function right here. So if you found the video helpful, definitely leave a thumbs up down below. And if you have any other questions or want to see any other examples, just let me know in the comment section below.